everyone, and welcome to Road Atlanta. So we did the track walk yesterday, kind of got a little bit familiar with the track. This place is incredible. The elevation change, it's much like the Ridge was a few weeks ago where we have huge elevation changes. They're much more dramatic here, whereas at the Ridge it was like you would have these very short corners where you'd have like this complex that goes straight uphill or straight downhill, and huge changes. Road Atlanta seems to be quite different, where they're much larger swooping ones. Very interesting. I'm excited to check it out. Excited to get my first session in. It's a late start today. There was like IMSA practice in the morning with some of the, I think it's like GT3 Cup cars. So they did that from 8 to about noon, and we went hot at noon. It's about 12:30 now. So prepped the car, made sure everything was okay. My goal for the first session is just to know where I'm going. Unfortunately, I didn't have much time to prep with sim time because we're so busy setting up the car and getting everything ready. And then the drive here is 3 days straight, essentially. So I just want to go out there, acclimate myself with the track, get to know where I'm going, and hopefully learn it. It's pretty challenging, and it seems like a high commitment track everywhere. So hopefully get that done in this next session, and then start turning it up from there. Okay, the plug just probably came off. So we just finished the last session of day one, and it is it's been hot. Hotlanta is definitely living up to the name of its name. I'm slowly getting used to the track. I didn't really run the first session because I had a weird issue where for some reason I lost a fuse in my taillights, and you have to have taillights in order to compete because it's a street class car, fair enough. So I didn't really get any laps in the first session. Went out the second session, did a 131.9. Went out this session, did a 130.2, slowly chipping away. The car has more left in it for sure. We're on the same tires that we used at GTA Finals and that we used at the Ridge. So we're gonna slap on a fresh set tomorrow. We're gonna turn the boost up a little bit, see what we can can do. Jackie is killing it right now, crushed the record with like a 28.7, I think it was. So props to Jackie Ding, you are killing it, my friend. Hopefully I have an answer for you tomorrow, but super excited, loving this track. It is incredibly gnarly, big commitment, and you have to kind of, it's weird, like if you drive and you kind of think of what's around you, you can't drive. So you have to kind of just pretend that it's like button willow and it's just flat and endless to kind of let go. And I'm starting to get to that point where I'm not fixating, like I've never really driven a track with walls. So it's been a new experience. So I'm kind of taking it slowly, only because I don't want to come into a fresh track, get in over my head and, you know, create an issue. So I'm starting to get to know the track. Tomorrow we're putting on 295 instead of 275. So I'm hoping that's going to help with some rear end stability. We do have some rubbing issues, like the compression between the suspension compression and the aero loading is so significant in 12 that we're like smoking the left tire. But overall really good. So going to look at the data, or actually I don't have data, I'm having one weird issue. So we've knocked out pretty much all the issues, but one strange one that we've kind of seen in the past, the voltage under load goes down to like 12.3, 12.2 randomly, and when it does, the dash cuts out and I lose data. So it basically like it shuts the dash off because it's below its start threshold, and I have no timing, so I've basically been driving in there blind. But going to watch the video, fortunately the Smarty Cam records regardless, and I'll have that, so use that, see what I can figure out, and hopefully learn a bit and go faster tomorrow.
2020 Corvette C5 C06 fixed roof coupe. We have Mr. Ryan Matthews with a 131.030. I had to give him all the descriptions.
Oh man, I'm here.
This is street, yes. Ran a 131.030 in an old C5 chassis. My guy. So, for all of you that want to know while he's collecting his stuff, a 134 won street class here like last year or 2 years ago before the record was set. All top 3 of street class this year were 31 and below. So this is by far one of the most competitive classes we had. It was tight, it was a battle. My boy let me down, but I'll get into that later. So this is Mr. Ryan Matthews, a 131.030. Thank you so much for coming out. Second place with a 129.179 in his RS Future Koyorad Honda K-powered NSX, Mr. Amir Benton-Powell. It's good he made it to the podium. No one protested you this week. This is good. Yes. So to be clear, guys, a 131.0 in your C5, beautiful car, sir. Great job. I'm gonna get away from this reverb. We have Amir at a 129.179, which, to be clear, would be a new street class record. Listen, your girlfriend talked about that, which would be a new street class record. But the real deal showed up in his PhD Racing Toyota Supra C90 version 2, Mr. Jackie Ding with a 127.923. To be clear, he went all 4 off while setting the record because he wanted a free car, but he didn't hit the wall. 127s in a street car. This is something we thought we'd never see. For you guys to know, the limited record was a 127 before this event. Jackie doing that in a street car, incredible. So this is your street podium, guys. 131.030, 129.179, 127.923. Great job, guys.
Sorry, yeah.
Oh my God!
That could have gone really good or really bad. That was awesome.
So we are all done for the weekend, and it's been one hell of a weekend. I love Road Atlanta. This place is amazing. The track is incredible. I've never driven anything quite like the Turn 12 complex. Super amazing. We ended the weekend with a 129.1, which was good enough to beat the existing street class record. Not good enough to beat Jackie Ding with a 127.8, so hats off to him. Phenomenal lap. I learned quite a bit about the car. Gonna go back and keep working on it and keep the progression going. My car works really well on some of the lower speed tracks. I found a couple of things here that I didn't really like. That, for example, basically bottoming out my left front tire on the fender, all of 12, and a few other things to get it set up more for high-speed tracks. So learned a lot. Amazing experience. I like the track. Great place. Atlanta's been an awesome city. I'm loving it. Again, the locals here have been phenomenally nice and incredibly welcoming. GTA staff ran a great event, and huge thank you to Scott for lending me his truck and trailer again to tow this all the way out here, and to Touda for coming out and helping me with everything, and of course my amazing girlfriend Muoi, who supports me through everything I do. So thank you to them. Thank you to Koyorad for making this all happen, and we're going to restart the process and start preparing and getting ready for Buttonwillow and VTEC Club in a few months. So now take the car back to the shop, start fixing all the things we know are wrong, dial in a few other things, and hopefully go real fast to Buttonwillow.